Hey, you guys. To all my replay viewers, hey, y'all. Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How you doing? Super excited that you're joining and checking out the replay. Make sure you say, hey, girl. Hey, let me know you've been here. We are going to hit the ground running. And today is a very special day. And today is Mother's Day, of course. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, whether you are a natural mother, but I do believe that you don't have to actually give labor or had a child. They don't have a child to be a mother or be whether a mother figure or being really just nurturing and paving the way for our children. And so, even if you are an auntie or a surrogate mom and have stepped in and support and help in the upbringing of nieces and nephew, community kids, whatever the case may be, then I celebrate you because I do believe it takes a village. It definitely takes a village. So, but happy Mother's Day. So, this is your girl, Joe Bullock, you guys. Come on in. Make sure you give StreamYard permission to share your name. I'm going to do my best to be looking on my phone to see who's live, but I am streaming from StreamYard. And today, I'm going to be talking about the 3 pitfalls to self-leadership. Y'all going to want to come on in. I'm going to try to keep these to 10, 15 minutes. We're going to be in and out. So let's otherwise land. But I want to talk about the 3 pitfalls. I'm like, where's these strands coming from? I want to talk about the 3 pitfalls of leadership. And we're going to go into it from there. As I was going to say, career women who lead on their jobs and who are called to serve kingdom women's particularly tend to work with me, tend to coach with me. I help you to discover and dive into your life calling so you can experience fulfillment outside of your 9 to 5. That's what we do on these streets. And so with that, I'm talking about self-coaching and specifically the 3 pitfalls to self-leadership. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Talk back. I see some folks have jumped on, but I'm not going to wait for everybody to get in because I want to be respectful to the replay viewers. And I want to be respectful to the people that's already here. Yes? All right, all right, all right. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. I do have some notes I'm pulling up on my phone. So I'm going to start here with the scripture. And it's Proverbs 28, Proverbs 29 and 18. Because today, what I want to tell you, all the things I'm going to be talking about, the pitfalls today, these are clarity pitfalls. So 3 clarity pitfalls that I'm going to share today. So we'll start with the first one, which is inspired by Proverbs 29 and 18. I'm reading a paraphrase or what I recalled, so I don't have it in front of me. But in short, the King James Version says, where there's no vision, the people perish. Where there's no vision, the people perish. So my first point is lack of clarity around your vision. This is so critical because you have to be, as you're leading your life, and I even want to go take a step back. As I think about my own life and I think about my story, some of you may or may not know my story, but I'll tell you this. Growing up, I knew that I did not want to live in financial struggle. And so when I was 12 years old as a 7th grader, I created a plan to pave the way for my future. Up until this point, my mom had done the best she could. But my dad had some struggles. And so financially, he didn't always have good financial management. Okay. He had some things going on, a little bit of gambling and some other things that was happening that was interrupting the flow of his finances. And of course, my parents being married, if my dad finances was interrupted, then our household finances was interrupted. And specifically my mom flow was being interrupted. And so as a kid, I saw the financial burden and struggles that my mom had trying to make ends meet. And that really just inspired me to say, how can I pave a way for myself in this moment? How can I pivot so I can level up? But in that moment, I decided what I was going to do. I knew I had a gifting around speed in track specifically. So I decided in that moment that I would pursue track. And pursue it in a way that I would go to earn a scholarship. So let me tell you what I did. I remember going into Garrett Academy, and I remember going to R&B Stall. I don't even know if let me take that back. I don't even know if I don't really remember going into Garrett. Maybe I did. I feel like I went to R&B Stall and went to North Charleston, and I was like, I'm good. I know where I'm going. I do remember going into R&B Stall, and no offense, I was not impressed. That, there's like, oh yeah, we have a track team. You can join, you can run. It's all good. No problem. It just was kind of laissez-faire, whatever. It's all good. And when I went to North Charleston, I went on the track. I met Coach Wright. He was an old guy, maybe 60 years old at the time. I also met Curtis Hazelton and Billy Griswold, and they were the coaches. There was 3 coaches at the time. And I also remember seeing this one athlete. I actually remember 2 athletes specifically. I remember a young lady named Radina Barr. Some of you guys may have known her. She graduated probably in 98, I would say 97, 98. And she was on the track. She was, if I had to size her up, she was probably about 5'8", 140 pounds perhaps. And she just was running. It was doing the whole race set, doing the little sprints and the drills and all the stuff. And she just was whoosh, 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 moving like the speed of light. And there was another young lady named, what's her name? Nessa? I can't remember. Call her name quite. I can't call her name. But it was 2 young ladies that was out there. And both of them were tagged for scholarship from the University of South Carolina. And because they both were tagged for scholarship at the University of South Carolina, which was the number 1 school at the time, that was inspiring to me. I'm like, this is the path that I want to go. I too want to run track. I too want to leverage that so I can become an athlete. So on that journey, it was a lot of trials and tribulations. I lost my father, ended up passing away. Coach Wright ended up retiring. Coach Billy and Coach Curtis ended up moving to another state. At this point, I'm like 10th grade. So I'm having all these things happening, and the teams was dwindling down. I was like the only one on the team by this point. And I still press. We were able to find a standing coach who would at least time me and just kind of monitor me so I wasn't out there by myself. And I kept going. And every race wasn't perfect. Some days I hit it. Some days I didn't make the mark. But when it counted at the state track meet, I ran a lifetime best. And that time invests me and led me to receiving a call from Ron Sheffield at San Diego State University. And my sister was telling me, some guy named Ron Sheffield called you. And I called him back and find out he wanted me to come on a recruiting trip. Went out on a recruiting trip. San Diego was absolutely beautiful. And they too had so many great facilities. And I decided then I was going to go there. But the reason why I share that story is because in that moment, I had to have some level of clarity about what it was that I needed to achieve. So once I had that clarity of this is where I'm going to get a scholarship, to pay for my school, because I know my mama didn't have the resources to pay for it. And I didn't want to do debt if I didn't have to. So that's what my journey was. I was clear on that. Somebody got to say, get clear. With your clarity, you got to know where you're going and when you expect to get there. So that's you're leading yourself or if you're leading your people. I'm going to look on my page to see if anybody's leaving any comments. You guys speak to me, talk back. But that is essential. You got to know where you're going and give an estimation of when you're going to get there, because those are going to be critical for you to be able to move forward. Without that, you'll find yourself stagnated. You'll find your vision stagnated. You'll find that you're not able to move at the speed and cadence that you need to move forward. You'll find yourself stuck. And when you're talking about leading other people, you have to be able to move forward, because the truth of the matter is that nobody's going to follow a parked car. I heard T.D. Jakes say that many years ago, that nobody's going to follow a parked car. So you have to be in movement. In order for you to move consistently, you have to know exactly where destination you're going. Where is that destination you're taking people? Where is that destination you're taking yourself? So that's my first point. My second point is that you must also have clarity of your purpose. Your purpose is going to be driven by what you want to do. Why do you want to do want to do. It usually is somewhere around your passions. It's usually somewhere around your pain. It's usually somewhere around your biggest problem. So when you look at your problems, your pain, and your passion, you then oftentimes will come into a discovery of what your purpose is. You have to know your purpose. You have to know why do you want to do this? To make a lot of money is not enough reason to, because you like to help people is not a good enough reason. It has to be something. And that's why I spend a few moments extra today to share with you my why. A big part of, well, at least my why I pursued track as a field. But even today now, I now have stepped into a role of being a life coach and a self-leadership coach, because what I know for just a leadership coach in general is what I know is that if we're able to lead ourselves in a way, and we're going to need certain skills to lead ourselves in order to lead others. And it's in doing this, we can manifest the life that we desire. In doing this, you can earn the income that you want. You can live the life that you want. Currently, I'm really fortunate to say I'm currently at one of my vacation rental home. I kind of see the picture of the boat in the background there. And this is part of me manifesting the life that I desire. This is me building wealth. And because of my financial trauma growing up, I am inspired to help other people to find ways to build wealth, to be more savvy with their finances, to make good decisions in terms of their business and purpose and all the things. Okay. So that's the second thing, is you got to be clear on your purpose. So lack of clarity is a pitfall. So you want to be clear on your purpose. And the third and final thing is you want to be clear on your calling. And these things all kind of build on each other. As you get clear, oh, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? Right? For me, I'm very clear. I want to help people in their area of leadership, helping them to develop their leadership skills, helping them to develop their self-leadership or leading others so they can manifest their dreams, so they can dive in and discover their calling, so they can live more freedom, more flexibility, and more fulfillment outside of their 9-to-5 and do what God is calling them to do. So with that being said, the third thing is getting clarity on your calling. Clarity on your calling. Somebody type that for me. Clarity on your calling, or the lack of clarity on your calling is the pitfall. But what we want to get to is actually the clarity of calling. And when we think about calling, we got to think about the who. Who, based off of your vision of where you want to go and where you want to take people, where you want to go and when you want to get there, and where you want to go and where you want to take other people and when they're going to get there. Yes. You will think about your purpose. Why am I doing this? Why am I motivated and moved to do this? Usually connected to your pain, your passion, and your pain, passion. I feel like I'm missing one. Problem, right? And then you get to the lack of clarity around your calling, which is the who and what. Who am I supposed to lead? Who am I? Who am I? And that can be, you always, when you're talking about the who, people get so caught up on us. Oh, everybody. That's not going to work, because if you are saying you're called to everybody, you're called to nobody, because most people, probably outside of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and some of the very rich people, don't have the marketing budget and resources to, or even the capacity to reach everybody. That's a very hard thing. So you got to dwindle it down. And so you got to be able to describe the group of people that you're serving, right? And then within the who, what are you helping them to achieve? What is it that what goal are you trying to help them to achieve? For me, I am helping women of faith, and specifically career women of faith, who lead on their jobs, yes, and who are called to serve other kingdom women, who know that yes, I'm working a 9-to-5. I have my investor, but there's something outside I want to do. So that's the who. And the what is helping them to get clear, helping them to block flows, helping them to remove blocks that's blocking their flow from operating in their gift and their calling to be and do what God has called them to do in the season and in the earth. Period. Dot. Exclamation point. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. So those are the things that I wanted to share on this evening, is the 3 pitfalls to self-leadership. And it's a lack of vision, a lack of purpose, and a lack of calling. So I thank you guys for joining on tonight. I do want to invite you guys to my interest meeting. If you're interested, you know that you need to develop in leadership, and sometimes you don't know. I should talk. Maybe that's going to be my live tomorrow, talking about how are signs you need to develop your leadership, because that's an important conversation. But I will say this for tonight. If these areas, if you're not crystal clear on these areas, then those are signs that your leadership needs to be developed. And I am your girl to do that. So I have a meeting happening this Thursday. It's an interest meeting to learn more about the Be Transform Leadership Academy and my leadership intensive that I have coming up that is going to help you to catch your whole life. We're compressing 3 months, 3 to 6 months of things in a weekend where we're going to spend some time together getting that clarity that you need to move your life and your vision forward. So that's my time. I thank you guys so much for joining. I thank you for watching the replay. Until next time, you guys be blessed. I'll be back on live on Thursday at 6:30 a.m. We're doing our biblical leadership teaching and our prayer on Thursday mornings. We have one more week. We're going to be studying the book of Nehemiah, and you are not going to want to miss it. So until next time, be blessed. And again, have Mother's Day to all the amazing mothers out there. God bless.